Others including Stan Grant, Troy Cassar-Daley, Johnny Diddle and Tim Sculthorpe. The book is the work of Torres Strait Islander and author Thomas Mayer, who joins us now from Townsville. Thomas, good morning. Great to see you again.
Good morning, Michael. Really happy to be here.
Where did the idea for this book spring from?
Oh, well, the idea came from talking to Tara June Winch. She's an award-winning author that wrote The Yield, and we met at a writers' festival and we're talking about fatherhood. I've got 5 kids, and she said there was something about me, I should write a book about fatherhood, and I didn't think I would, but I thought about it and I thought it was important enough to do.
The book opens with, I found, quite a touching and I felt emotional reading it, letter from you to one of your sons, to Noli, about your journey as a father, your relationship with him. What have you learnt writing a letter like that and putting this book together in the first place?
Well, I think writing to my son really helped me analyse myself as a person and as a man, to think about how I was raised and how, what we can learn from the lessons from our fathers and how they were treated. And really how we can do better, and I think that's what I ultimately try to do in my letter to my son is to help him find his way and to help him accept that it's okay to be vulnerable as a man. It's okay to show emotions and care about things and express that.
And on that front, how important do you hope this book is in helping to break down those unfortunate stereotypes, especially when it comes to First Nations dads?
Well, I thought it was important that all of the contributors are First Nations men, because I think it's overdue that we celebrate who First Nations men are. We were taught in the colonial institutions, in schools, even in my generation, that my forefathers were, savages, unintelligent, whereas, the non-Indigenous children in the same class were taught that their forefathers were explorers and scientists, and in complete ignorance of the fact that we're the longest continuing culture on the planet, and so not only do we try and break those stereotypes, but we also importantly celebrate First Nations men, all we've done and achieved, and all we can be.
Gee, congratulations on you and the publisher pulling together such a great collection of Indigenous men writing the chapters in the book. We mentioned Stan Grant, Troy Cassar-Daley as well, Joe Williams, the former rugby league player. They have been quite candid, all of them, haven't they, about their experiences?
Oh, these men that wrote in this book were really generous. It can't be underestimated how difficult it is to write a letter to your son, especially, with the way that men are today, and to really be real personal and honest about our flaws, the mistakes that we've made. I was just over the moon about how generous these men were, and I hope people see that in the pages.
It also happens to be National Indigenous Literacy Day today as well. It's a great opportunity to speak about this book, but also a great reminder this day is of what more needs to be done in improving literacy in Indigenous communities around the country. Yeah,
there's some great First Nations writers coming through. I think publishers and readers in general are starting to really take note of the wonderful work that we can produce. There's a great change in sentiment in this country, that people are ready for reconciliation, they're ready for constitutional change to enshrine a First Nations voice. And this sort of work that these men and myself have done, and other writers, I hope people pick them up and read them.
Thomas Mayer, congratulations on the book and a very early Happy Father's Day.